Hi everyone, welcome to this new video on English accent tutorial. Today I'm going to delve into talking precisely about how to develop the skills to speak English with a standard neutral sounding American accent for yourself at just within the comfort of your own home. And at the same time, I'm also going to narrate how I myself actually got the ultimate hang of it. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. You know, however, as normally being an Indian, it generally takes numerous hours, days, weeks, and even years to actually acquire the sounds of the English vowels and consonants exactly the same way like native speakers. Because English is such kind of language which sounds absolutely vague and distinct when spoken by we Indians as being not our own native language, as unlikely for foreigners like Americans, Brits, Aussies, Canadians, etc. But as an irony of the fact that yes, you can actually master the accent correctly and as efficiently if you take seriously this challenge as your duty to accomplish. Indian language placement is way unique or different than actual English language placement itself, as of whether British English or American English. Now, as here I'm about to talk of American accents, so first thing to get the most out of the speech patterns is to relax yourself by calming down and say to yourself, yes, I can do it. Yes, and most importantly, have the right confidence to ensure that you get acquainted with all the rules of American English speech patterns, such as mastering vowel sounds, consonant sounds, intonation, liaisons, syllable stress, and most importantly, the voice placement to get the grasp of speaking the language of English just like native speakers. Now, to exactly reckon as how long it may take to actually sound like a native American if you're an Indian is sensibly hard to say because it depends on the perspective of the learner's dedication and commitment, as well as his or her talent and merit. For me, as of my experience, I can count on the period of is let's say 4 years on an average is the time period that may take if you are working casually and effortlessly. This was my case. However, on an average prediction, I can ascertain that it's gonna be more or lesser amount of time, say for about a year and a half, that accounts for absolutely mastering the accent. Now, as to figure and chalk out the plan for yourself to begin with and from where, for this, I'd suggest to take the technique which I applied for myself to get quicker results is controlled shadowing and imitation. Among the 24 hours in a day, try to spend about one third of the hours on listening on American English videos like podcast and news. Then you can gradually shift to listening the dialogues of any Hollywood movie and pick out random lines and phrases from there using your voice recording app in your smartphone. Record the following lines and phrases exactly in the same way, like what the native speaker does it in the video or movie. You don't need to select majority of the lines or sentences from most part of the video content or movie itself, but you can keep putting on the headphones on your ears and apparently keep doing your course and stops as part of your regular activities. The next step is to speak English to yourself by thinking about what you'll say in English itself using the patterns of the spoken American English accent by controlled copying. Keep going with doing the recordings. Listen back to identify the mistakes and drawbacks. Analyze them and correct them by listening again and again. This will ensure that you get the confidence to develop substantially. Now, after you are done with the following, try to speak English with your parents, siblings, by encouraging them to with doing the same. Right at the jump, it won't be perfect, but as you keep trying and going with the pace of practicing periodically, you'll progress much quicker. Do this for a couple of weeks in the same manner. After you are done with this, select a piece of document to read out loud. Before you read, make sure to align them with IPA transcriptions if available, or you can also point out some of the vowel sounds as well as consonant sounds of the words in each sentence of the paragraph in the document. In the beginning, you may sound as a bit exaggerated or strange as compared to your natural sounding speech patterns, but don't worry. You don't need to worry. You'll slowly break the habit of that and find yourself getting closer to the native sounding speech like that of an American. Now, here's a quick disclaimer. You'll need to have a role model for practice. This can be just only a famous American person whom you know well or admire. Don't just keep jumping on to other speakers as their speech might affect your speech patterns, as their tonality might be different than whom you're imitating or copying. This is the best method for your progress faster than spending money on some intensive accent training program.